Overtaking is allowed, and not only allowed, it is necessary. You must understand this fundamental truth that life is not a race of patience, but of persistence and strategy. You cannot be content by following the path laid out by others, for true greatness is carved out by those bold enough to forge ahead and to dare beyond the ordinary and to leap past the limits that society has constructed around them. Welcome to 247 Laws of Marketing. My name is Brian Oduma, and we are here to have a conversation, a very powerful conversation. This conversation is between myself and you. I'm sure if you're watching me in this episode, you are either a micro enterprise, you are either a small enterprise, you are either a medium enterprise, or a corporate, or maybe you are just a dreamer. Maybe you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur someday, or rather you are still dreaming, or you're somewhere thinking about it. But all the same, there is something that we can share, myself and you, about this journey of entrepreneurship. Everybody right now is out there to build a brand. Everybody wants, to be associated with something. Everybody wants to pave way for themselves in one way or the other. And talking about that, we cannot go without mentioning the issue of unemployment, especially in the country that we live in. And I'm sure it's a problem of the continent of Africa and even outside other continents. You'll find so many people are struggling with unemployment, and the unemployment rate is going very high, very high, very high. I always say that the best recipe to build for an angry and resistant citizens, it is having very high unemployment rate, whereby it will reach a point that the crowd or the citizens will not be managed because of the situation that they are in. Therefore, this has led many people to opt for entering into this scary and flooded field of entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur in one way or another, but the path is scary, as I have mentioned. I don't know how your side is. You can tell me if it is easy for you, but for me, it is not easy. But that looks like it is the only savior. It's the only route out to be able to solve this issue, because life cannot really stop. Now, mostly if you look at the company registry statistics, you know how many businesses are registered every year, like between 2024 and now 2025. By, let's say, the last time I checked, it was in July last year. And you'll find over 75,000 business names were registered by July of 2024. And those are business names for limited companies and all sorts. I think we had over 50,000 or so. Maybe I should just give you the right statistics. Business names that were registered, there are 75,964. That is by July of last year. And the limited companies were about 58,660 in that year. You can imagine how many up to now. So everybody is opting for this path. But should we be excited really about this? Should we celebrate? Or what does it really mean? It means that many of us are seeking to solve the problem of unemployment, but it's a trial and error for many of us, a trial and era. And the question that I would want us to ask ourselves is, how many of these companies will stand the test of time by, let's say, 2 years of registration? How many will be running? How many will have employed an extra person? How many will have scaled? Because starting something is one thing, because you can start out of just an impulse or out of need or just because you don't have anything to do. But how many will stand the test of time and be able to scale, be sustainable for the time to come? And because of all this, there is actually a great need to understand the art of marketing. Because myself, I believe that the difference between you, a startup, and that market giant that I won't mention, it is marketing. If you were given an audience, maybe a wide, an audience that is wide enough to be able to advertise your product or your brand, so I'm sure you would have been a millionaire for that day or that season. But you are not out there because the difference between you and that giant that is marketing and branding. What are these principles that apply for somebody to build a powerful brand? What do you need to know? What do you need not to know? Which path do you need to follow? I know this is not a custom stone. Like maybe what I'll be sharing with you is not really a custom stone, but these are things that keep evolving. They are things that you might have your own perspective. I might have my own perspective about marketing or and building brands, but all the same, if it's studied and proven, maybe someone else can start. The reason they call this an art, it's because it is diverse, it is creative. Somebody can be able to come up with their own formulas, another one with their own formulas, their own theories that will lead them to the same goal that they are really going to. Uh-huh. So before we really move very fast, I would like you to understand uh, what is the difference between goods, products, and brands. What are you bringing on the table, really? Because it is until when you understand the difference between these is when you will be able to know that this is how to go about it. This is what I'm lacking. This is what I'm supposed to do. And this is what I am not supposed to do. When you present a good where a brand is needed, it will not sell. It will not scale. It will not be sustainable. When you introduce a brand where there is need for a product or a good, you will have a problem uh, making sales out of it or making sense also out of it. So you must be in a position to understand what goods are, what products are, and what brands are, so that you can be able to know what you are carrying and what you are taking to your audience. And let's try and differentiate these three things. You can help me in the comment section to differentiate between goods, products, and brands. Goods are tangible items. Like, for example, this pen. This is a good. It is something tangible. You can sell somewhere. You can take it somewhere to a soko and give it to someone. Just a tangible thing as it is, like this or something. Then a product can be a tangible item, or it can also be an intangible service. Like, for instance, you are a technician or you are a producer. You produce music. So that can be your product the art, the service of producing music can be your product. And that product can also be the final content itself. After now the production, the final content of music can be the product itself. If you're doing a pen, maybe the service of branding this pen to look like you know like maybe to have a specific uh, writing or print, that can be a service. That service can be a product. Also, the pen itself is a product. What about a brand? Now, here comes a difference, because many entrepreneurs, when we enter into a business, or when we are trying to make sense out of our life, we come up with with goods and products, but we forget that there is need to build a brand. So a brand is not a name of a thing. A brand is not how do I say? It's not a title. It's not a name. For instance, those who make soap, bar soap, there are different kinds of bar soap. You call them brands. This bar soap is from this brand. This bar soap is from this brand. This liquid wash is from this brand, and this jik or bleach is from this brand. A brand is not actually that name, or the company that produces that product. A brand is it's a perception, it's an identity, they call it. It is how people, how your customers or your audience relate to the products that you give to them. That's what we call a brand. It is it brings about elements of the name itself, the elements of the logo, the elements of the color, the elements of the emotions. Actually, a brand carries the emotions that people attach to your product. For instance, when you're talking about, let's give an example of what? Let's give an example of these communication service companies that we have in the country. I'll give an example of my country, Kenya. We have two major communication service providers. There, we have Safaricom, we have Airtel, and we have others. Let's use those two. In these two, the goods and the products are what they sell to us. We have airtime, we have other services for transacting mobile money. We have all those services. They're what we call a brand and a service, a good and a product. But now a brand comes with firstly the name. When you talk about Safaricom and Airtel, those names, there is some emotions that they raise. For people who have interacted with these two brands, there are some emotions that they raise. For instance, when you talk about Apple, Apple Apple devices, you talk about Android devices, there are some emotions attached to those things. When you talk about Apple, somebody will bring out, like, there will be that perception of something classy, something high end, something hybrid, something expensive, if I may say. Yeah, there is that kind of perception attached to Apple products. The same time, when you talk about Android, there also that perception attached to Android, perception of something for a common citizen. If I'm wrong, you can I stand to be corrected. But that is the perception that comes. This can be personal to myself and to another person and to the other and to the other. But that is what I'm talking about. It's not about the name or where this thing comes from. It's about the emotions attached to that product. Safaricom has green as the major color. Airtel has red as the major color. Now, it comes at times, even I'm sure you have seen such things. When they are making adverts, you will see their creative directors mostly playing around with those colors. When they want to talk about something good, they want to use green. If it's Safaricom, they want to maybe promote some service. Uh, there is the positive promotion and the negative promotion, whereby for you to promote this thing, you can speak well about it, or you can speak ill about the competition to this product. So you'll find some adverts whereby uh, Safaricom will use red color to represent something you're not supposed to, and it will use green color to represent things that they want you to buy. When it comes to Airtel, they will use the green colors to warn you against something they feel it is maybe they don't want you to take it. They feel it is toxic for you, if I may say, or just something of the sort. I'm sure you understand these things. So there is something attached to color. You walk somewhere, you see green, you know what to relate to that green. You walk somewhere, you see red, you know what to relate to that red. Some might relate red with danger, like for those who are team Safaricom, they will relate red with danger because that is the perception that Safaricom has sold for them. That is the perception there, because the major competitor is red. But others, there is like a brand called the bank brand called Absa. Absa uses red. For those who are customers of Absa, they don't really take red as a danger or something. Yeah, they take it as something good, or something they can embrace. Actually, in other places, red is love. Red is good vibes. Red is, all nice, all those positive, sweet things. Uh, but that is the perception I just wanted us to understand, that a brand is not a name, it is not a title, it is not a company, but the emotions that have been attached to that company, the psychological connection. What comes in your mind? What triggers your mind when you hear about this name, this kind of brand, this kind of thing, this kind of? What comes in your mind? So, in this podcast, I want us to be able to explore and to grow powerful brands. At the end of this, somebody must be somewhere, holding, or somebody must be somewhere ready to build, or have already built a brand that will stand the test of time. Or those who have built brands already, I know you are looking for ways to scale up your brands. You're looking for ways to promote them. You're looking for ways to build, strategic connections and partnerships and all that. This is what we are going to explore together. I want us to be able to, to share ideas on the modern ways to promote brands, modern ways to build brands. When you are a startup, you are just picking yourself up. You're just, still imagining what is the right path to follow, what is the right way to go about it. Building a brand starts down there. You don't wait until maybe the business has grown so big that you can be able to build to start building connections around it or emotions around it. In fact, the truth here is that when you don't build a brand, a brand builds itself. So long as you are transacting, so long as you are connecting with people, customers, connecting with other businessmen, your brand builds itself. The problem is it might build itself in the direction that you don't want to, or you might be exposing it uh, to dangers. You might be exposing it to you are allowing it to build a brand that will not be accepted. You are allowing it to make a lot of mistakes. You are allowing it to go astray because you're not checking, or maybe you're not just being careful about what you are doing. So I would want us from the beginning, from the startup kabisa, like when you are starting the foundation for a business or for a brand as a person. Is it possible to start from the right staircase? Is it possible to start right and to build right without making so many mistakes around? There are mistakes that people have already made, mistakes that others have already made, and I'm sure a wise person actually learns from other people's mistakes. So why should you be there building, making mistakes for your own when you can be able to make new mistakes that nobody has made already? So I also want to ensure that you have built confidence around your brand. You have built confidence around what you are doing, and you know that I'm doing this and I'm doing right, because we'll be here to share. We'll be here to mind your business. We'll be here to listen to what you're saying. We'll be here to listen to the mistakes that you're making in business, the dangers that you are facing in promoting your brands, the things, all those kind of things that are troubling you. Those are some of the things that we'll be sharing on this podcast. And one thing I know, that everything is guided by principles. There is nothing new on this planet, whether it's a new innovation, a new product, there is nothing new. Somehow just somebody has done it before. Somebody has gone through it before, or kidogo tu imepita mahali kwa mkono ya mtu. So I'm sure there is always an experience. There are principles that people have built over time. People have built principles around, how to do this, how to do that, and all that. You can also join them and be part of that group, that generation of people who are going to build their brands without so many struggles, without so many stumbles here and there, but they are going to build brands out of learning from other people, and just practicing the principles that have been laid out or have been studied and proven by others in one way or another. So you can start sharing maybe the troubles you're facing in building your brand, troubles you're facing in building your business. What kind of challenges are you seeing, especially in promoting? Mostly many people will be exposed to capital, will be exposed to those normal challenges that people face when they want to start a business. Those are things. There are also challenges, but the major one, as I have said at the beginning, the difference between this startup and that giant that is marketing. Marketing. One has been there for some time. Another one is starting. Another one is you can even find a startup that is older than a market giant, but it's not doing well still. It means there are principles that you're supposed to be exposed to. On that note, I will introduce you to this book, 247 Laws of Marketing. Is actually It's a book that I wrote and published last year. It looks like this, a very beautiful book, beautiful covers. It talks about supreme principles for building a powerful brand. These are things that have been studied, have been proven, and even industry experts have come on board to be able to just ensure that they share their experience, they share their their challenges, their successes, and just the knowledge that they know about building brands and promoting brands. So 247 Laws of Marketing, written by myself, is a very provocative book. It's a book that inspires you very much. It's a book that will teach you, and not only teach you, but it will trigger you to wake up. It will trigger you to start. It will trigger you to make that first step, and to make a step of faith, actually, because you know, actually, somebody said that you cannot fail when you have not started. Yes, you can never fail. So many of us fear failing. Many of us fear uh, going through some experiences in business, but the only way out is to take risk and to go out and start. So this book will not just give you principles of, building brands and marketing, but it will inspire you. It will provoke you to wake up and to do things. It will provoke you to seek mentorship, to seek help, to seek knowledge. It is actually a small book, and it has very few chapters, only 5 chapters. This is something you can read over a short period of time. Only 5 chapters, and you're good to go. You're ready to build a brand. This book was as you can see, as beautiful as it looks. Maybe let me just take you through what is here. 247 Laws of Marketing, Supreme Principles for Building a Powerful Brand. This beautiful cover was done by a friend of mine by the name Alex Gishao from Gishao Arts and Design. Did a very nice work. And as I was saying, that brands are built over time. So this someone that I have seen growing his design brand from scratch, and over time he has stood out to become a very uh, you know a very good designer, a very perfect one, actually, for that matter. So 247 Laws of Marketing, and there are things I have written here on the introduction, acknowledgement part. I'll take you through that some other time. And of course, the book was forwarded by the one and only Dr. Regina Kingori, the author of Reignite Your Dreams book, and also the CEO of RWK Africa. Yes, that is my mentor, and I'm going to take you through this so that you can be able to understand. And at the end, we'll be together building brands that are unbeatable in the marketplace. They're unbeatable anywhere else. They will live even beyond our own ages. They live beyond us. So thank you for following up this episode. I'm glad that I'm going to see you in the next episode. Thank you, and remember, overtaking is allowed.